Sometimes trading is irritating, especially when you watch a content creator show how to do a specific kind of trading method, and when you actually put that method into action, unfortunately every single time that you place a bid on a player, you immediately get outbidded. That's why in today's video, we're going through the best trading methods that you can use with zero competition. Every time that you bid on loads of different players, 9 out of 10 times, you'll be able to win those trades. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to skip trading and just get to the point of where you do have coins in your account, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap and fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic 5 out checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. This is also going to come in big, especially for the end of this month where we do have Team of the Year. So link to Mule Factory can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, most people when they try to trade, they look at what's currently active, either being the new promo, the most recent team of the week, or some of their favorite players. As most people do this, you will always have competition. But if you do just change up a few small details within your search, you can make life a lot easier for yourself, as you'll be looking at a market that no other trader is looking for, and you are able to make a good amount of coins. And there's a couple of different ways that you can do this, and we're going to be sharing it in this video. The first way is by looking at managers. Managers don't offer too much, but they are needed within the game. You must have a manager active within your squad, otherwise you will not be able to play any game within any of the game modes. This means there will always be some kind of demand for managers within Ultimate Team, even if it's not a crazy amount of demand where these managers will go up to be tens or even hundreds of thousands of coins. For you to actually trade with them, you can do it in one of two ways. The first way is just a simple buy and sell. You don't need to do anything with it. You can look for either specific types of managers or managers from certain leagues. You can easily find their lowest buy now using the transfer market, and then you can spend time just trying to see if you can get any of those managers on a bid a lot lower compared to that lowest buy now. Because most people don't actively sit there and look at managers go down to the last 30 seconds and place bids on them. Most people just buy them straight away and store them into their club. You can actually use the time to bid on managers, and once they do get down to that last 30 seconds, it's likely that you will be able to win them, or you can instantly list them on the market at a higher price. My favorite way to trade with managers is changing the manager leagues. Not every single manager is priced the same, and the biggest impact on the manager's price is actually the league in which they play for. And the league that they play for isn't set in stone like we have with the players. You can change the manager league to whatever league you want to change to. It's simply done with a manager consumable. This means if you were to go and look at League 1 and find that managers are selling for a minimum of 400 to 600 coins on a buy now, and then you spend a couple minutes researching other managers which you know you can get them on a bid at 150 coins, and you also know that looking at the League 1 manager league consumable, you can also get that on a bid at 150 coins, well, there's a gap. You can buy the manager by itself, and you can also buy the manager league consumable, apply them together, relist it on the market at a higher price, and always make profit, knowing that most people aren't spending the time to do this. This is a trading method that I use every now and then, and it's always worked for me since the beginning of FIFA 22. Another way in which you can trade with zero competition is looking at the position change method. And yet again, there are two different ways in which you can do this. Firstly, you can look at players that are already out of their default position. Every single hour, there are people out there that will buy a player, store them in their team, and convert that player's position to better suit their team so they're able to get the maximum amount of chemistry. Once they're finished with that team or just don't like the way that that player plays, they will list them on the market for the price in which they originally bought them for, forgetting that there is a completely new price added to that player because they changed them out to their default position. So many people buy center defensive mids, convert them up to center mids. Once they list them back on the market, they list them at that center defensive mid price. And with the FIFA market being what it is, normally they list them for around 700 to 1000 coins. But it's new value because it is within that center mid position, and that center mid position modifier has around a price tag of anywhere between 1000 to 3000 coins depending on the day, and also dependent on the platform. it brings that new player's value to be a lot higher. You can simply search each player by name and just look for them in different positions, pretty much for every single player. The only players that I wouldn't bother looking at is anyone that is a fullback that's been converted to a right wing back or a left wing back. That's the only position which really isn't desirable. But every other position within the game you can look at, and you can look for them out of their default position to see what price they're going for. And you'll always find people making mistakes because they never bother to search the market. You can also take the time to actively move players out of their default positions. And with this, it doesn't work with every position. This does require a lot more research. You need to find a player where there isn't a huge amount of them on the market within that new position. You'll then spend time trying to bid on that player within their default position. You'll also want to spend time bidding on the consumable to have that position modifier. And then you also need to spend time going through your club and applying them. Once all of that's done, that's when you can relist them at a higher price on the transfer market. And normally you'll make anywhere between 500 to 1,000 coins on average. You also can't just do it with one player and fill your transfer market with 100 players of just one specific type of card. You will need to do this with loads of different players. Loads of different players within loads of different leagues playing for loads of different teams. And this is so you don't flood the market, but you will be able to make a lot of coins out of this. And it's rare that anyone is trying to compete with you because it does take so much time for you to actually list all of these cards on the market and get everything together. Very similar to this, and this brings us to our third method of the video. You can also do the exact same thing with Chem Styles. There are two different ways yet again in which you can do this. The first way is that you look for players that already have Chem Styles applied to them. Some of the most famous methods by doing this is looking at the shadow method, where you look at defenders with the shadow card already applied to them. You then set the league to be either Premier League, Liga and Serie A, Bundesliga or La Liga, and you just compare the player prices. It's very easy because everything is there in front of you. If you search Premier League defenders with the shadow chem style, and there's a couple listings, all of them listed at the exact same price, but there's one listed 1,000 coins less than the rest, well, you buy that cheaper one and list them 1,000 coins higher. At some point, someone will look to buy that player because it's one of the cheapest with a shadow chem style, and you're able to make around 1,000 coins profit. Now, the good thing is that you can infinitely scale this method. You start off by looking at defenders within the different leagues with a shadow chem style, but eventually you can move up to midfielders with the catalyst and then attackers with the hunter. And even once you've done that, you can then start to cycle through every single chem style with the positions that it actually benefits. Once all of that's done, you'll go all the way back to the start where you look at defenders with the shadow chem style again. And because it's taking you so long to go through every league with every chemistry style, by the time that you come back, there will be new types of listings. And it's rare that you'll have to deal with any other traders that you're competing against. If you want to take it a step further, you, very similar to the position change method, can do all the work yourself. You can find a player, find a chemistry style, apply them together and then relist them on the market. This does take some time, but it still makes profit. You'll need to bid on the player, you'll need to bid on the chem style, you'll send one of those players to your club, you'll then send the chemistry styles to your club, you'll apply them together, and then you'll relist them, looking to make anywhere between 500 to 1,000 coins profit after EA tax. The rules that we spoke about with the position change method, where you don't want to be just looking at one specific player, you want to be looking at loads of different players, it still applies here. You do not want to flood the market with one player. You need to look at loads of different players so that you're able to do this with, so that if you are struggling to sell a specific type of player, you don't have to worry because there's loads of other cards which are also listed at the exact same time. Most people don't try to trade when there's these slight differences, whether there being a different type of position or a different type of chemistry style. And these slight differences within the card will make a huge difference to you being able to trade. It may add a few extra 100 coins or even a few extra 1,000 coins to the player itself. But that stops new beginner traders from actually looking at these players because now they're no longer the cheapest on the market. They're no longer looking at these types of cards because they're a few hundred or even a few thousand coins above the lowest buy now, and they don't understand why anyone would go for them. But we see that it has hidden potential. It's potential of being a different type of position or a different type of chem style, which increases the price. But anyway guys, here are 3 different trading methods, with there also being 2 different ways in which you can perform each of these methods to actually trade without having to deal with other traders. You should be able to try out these and you'll have 0 competition. And even with it being included within this video, I've been advertising each of these individually in separate videos before, and still these work because a lot of people don't want to put the work in. They don't want to put the time in to actually get these coins when it's some of the easiest coins I've been able to earn within FIFA 22. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.